Hey everybody, Greg and Jess with Drifter Journey. We got Lupe taking a nap down here behind us.
She's sleepy.
But today we're gonna go over why we're quitting van life after 5 years. It's finally happening. The van's for sale.
Yep.
We got a bunch of people interested and one person put a deposit on it as of now. So it's probably gonna be gone in the next week or two. Which is bittersweet, but also feels like we're turning the page to the next chapter of our journey.
Yeah, so I kind of see this as like the end of an era. We're transitioning, and we'll tell you what we're gonna get into at the end of this video.
This is a record for me too, because usually I like to change my life completely every 2 years is what the normal has been in the past. I usually start getting antsy and coming up with a crazy idea after a year, and then it usually takes a year or so to make it happen. So we lived in our first house for 2 years, sold that right away. Built a house, lived in that for 3, but we sold it, decided we were selling it after 2, and we built a van. And then we made it about 2 years in the first van, sold it and bought another one. Made it. How long in this one then? 2.5?
This one's 2.5, yeah.
So a little over 2 in the last one, a little over 2 in this one.
Yep.
We just passed the 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And now we live in a camper. But we're not pooping in a bucket anymore because we're not pooping in the camper either. But we got a porta potty for what you're gonna find out about here in a minute.
Yeah, so van life has taken us all across the country, all across North America. We covered the West, the East, Alaska, Baja. If you guys have been following our channel, we didn't actually start recording and YouTubing until 2020-ish. I think Baja 2020 was the first season that we started covering. So prior to that, you know, we had done a bunch of national parks. We did a whole international trip. We went to New Zealand and did van life there. We did Australia, Bali, Thailand, Singapore. And we've had a lot of crazy experiences during this time. So this whole 5 years of not having a home and just being remote and traveling has been pretty incredible. So yeah, when Greg says it's bittersweet to see the van go, it's not just the van, it's like that feeling of freedom and just being able to just go wherever you want, whenever you want, and you have everything with you. And you know, if you see that like the weather's gonna be bad in one place, you just go somewhere else. And if the fishing's not good at that spot, you just go to another spot. And it's like, it's so easy to just go do things when you live in a van like that. It's difficult in the sense that like, yeah, you have to make decisions, and you also have to make sacrifices like having a small fridge and not showering often and pooping in a bucket.
Also, you got to figure out how you're going to sustain this lifestyle. Everybody, let's take a quick second to talk about the sponsor for this video and let you know how to get a discount on their products. This video is sponsored by Epic Water Filters. They're out of Colorado. They have water filters that go in Nalgene's for when you're hiking, and they also have products to filter tap water at your house. Check out their website. We got a link below for them, and use code DRIFTERJOURNEY, all caps, to get 20% off your order. So we, in the beginning, had thought we'd only do it for a year or two, and we had saved up what I thought was 2 years of money to do it so that we could not work because we quit our jobs. And that's kind of morphed into why you're watching us now, which is the Drifter Journey business. Yep. And we turned it into a successful business.
It depends on how you define success.
But we've turned it into something that has allowed us to drag this on for 5 years.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, make it work.
Yeah.
And we're not making money, but we're breaking, close to breaking even.
We're paying for things.
We haven't gone broke yet. With that said, if you buy anything on Amazon, make sure you click through our link down below. We get pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
And that's what helps us keep the journey alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a goal. I wanted to see all the states which we have. The vans, I mean, I had been to some states before, but both of the vans had made it to almost all the states. We flew to Hawaii, obviously. We wanted to drive up to Alaska. We did that. We've been through Canada twice now. And down to Baja, obviously, if you guys have watched or watched some of our old videos. What, 4 years now?
4 seasons in Baja, yeah.
Four winters in Baja now.
Yep.
So at this point, and I know a lot of other people that have been living in the van for a long time. I've actually been seeing it pop up a lot lately that people are, I think you have an expiration date on it. Right?
Yeah, van life, shelf life.
Because you end up in the same routine, and it's, you know, hang out in the Mountain West for the summer because it's great, and then go to Mexico for the winter because it's great.
Yep. And
that's fine. You could do that forever, but at some point you're probably going to want more than 80 square feet.
Right.
So yeah, it's time. So we have been driving around for a long time and looking for places to live, and we ended up settling back in Colorado, actually. We got a little under 1.5 acres in a neighborhood with no HOA, which is great.
Good and bad.
The pros are we can do whatever the heck we want.
Yep.
Minimum square footage for our county is
400.
nothing. Well, no. Well, technically 400 for a house, but they allow tiny, so as long as it's on a foundation. So you can build as small as you want here. Legally, as long as you get permits. And a lot of people don't even get permits.
Yeah, that's the downside of it.
That's one of the downsides.
Is that we can do whatever we want, but so can everyone else.
Yeah, so we got free range sheep in the neighborhood, which we have a fence so they stay out of here, but they are tearing up the green space. We got some horses that wander the streets. We've got some piles.
Yep. Car collectors.
Car collections and whatnot.
Barns that are falling down. It's the quintessential rural country life.
Yeah, it's we
which is what we wanted. You know, we wanted a place where we could kind of do what we want and make ourselves a nice little farm and not be bothered. So
yeah, so we are going to be breaking ground this week, hopefully, which obviously will be probably done by the time you watch this video.
Well, so we're going to launch into a land development series next, which will start with how we chose this spot. A lot of people who are living remote or traveling are kind of trying to make that decision, right? How do you pick a spot when you have the entire country to choose from? And our decision came down to a lot of different factors.
Amenities.
Yeah, like property taxes and obviously the HOAs and affordability, things like that. So we'll go into all of that and how to develop a piece of property, because that's the next thing you want to consider when you're looking to buy land. You know, the things that you are going to have to pay for are not just the property and a house. There's a lot more that goes into it.
Yeah, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yep, and you want to know that stuff going in before you buy the land, because some land may look cheap, but it's very expensive to develop. So there's that.
For instance, it was $20,000 to bring electricity
from like
300 feet, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe not even.
Down the street.
200 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also we'll show you guys the whole build process. So, you know, ultimately we were hoping to do a lot of this ourselves, but we chose a small town where there is not a lot of labor and the prices are very inflated, and the tourists or second homeowners are basically driving all of the prices up. So
tell them like it is.
That's
We're
how it
getting into
is.
it. Needless to say, we called a lot of builders, or not builders, a lot of electricians and concrete companies here. And for instance, one electrician, it just went straight to voicemail. It says, due to the high demand at this time, we are not taking on any new customers.
Yeah.
So we did end up having to go through a general contractor because he's got connections that we don't have.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll be paying a fee for that.
Yep.
But as you're going to see, I'm going to be working with them, trying to get things cheap.
Yeah, so we are going to try to do some stuff ourselves. Thankfully, this builder is open to that.
Yeah.
And even though we will be paying his general contractor fee, I do believe that his connections with subcontractors and actual materials
Yeah, it's gonna
will
offset.
help a lot. Us doing it ourselves just ended up being
Not feasible.
such an unrealistic, impossible task. So
Oh, I shouldn't say that. We didn't want to deal with it.
it would take years.
We've been in there. Yeah, exactly. We've been in there for years, and we're in a camper for. Did we show them the camper on this video yet?
Yeah.
You guys see the camper?
It was the camper.
We're in this little camper, which
we'll show you guys moving day too.
which is going to be pretty crummy through the winter. So we didn't want it to go on for years because we are ready to have a little more space and a shop and things like that.
Yeah. When we're ready for stuff, we're ready. Like, we built this van in 2 months. So
Yeah, we
it
designed
happen.
the house already. She drew it. Then we sent it to a dude that like made it look fancy on paper.
yeah.
But it's small.
Yeah, it's happening.
But it's like 8 van size, so it should be all right. So yeah, I think that's really it. Unless you want to talk to them
Yeah.
about anything else on here.
Nope, we can get more into the build and stuff. Just want to give you guys an update of what we're doing since the van is now almost out of here, and we'll probably watch it drive away within the next week or so. So it's going to be exciting changes, and we'll still try to take you guys out into the woods once in a while and show you
Yeah,
this beautiful area,
because the Geo goes.
because we got this awesome little guy, 1995 Geo Tracker, that is
Yeah.
going to be our vehicle until we get the next travel rig, which
Or it blows up, one of the two.
we're not going to tell you what that is yet because,
A couple reasons. We like suspense.
yeah,
But there will be another travel rig.
Yeah.
And it will have serve multi-purposes.
yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So
So for now,
stick with us.
thanks for watching.
Thank you.